All right, thanks guys for tuning in for another episode of Chaos and Recovery. Today's episode, we have Johnny Mac. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, man.
Long time since I've seen you, but you know, I mean, we kick it off right back when
Always
we were back
Always
there.
love.
You know,
Yep. Always love.
You know, you have been through a ride throughout your life.
Yeah,
Very interesting
yeah.
one.
That's you can describe it that way.
Yeah.
It's like
So
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd start from the beginning because I don't know any of your story.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Oh,
Yeah, let's hear
Or
it.
start from
yeah.
where?
My parents are both the majority Irish, right? And kind of my mother comes from a giant Irish Catholic family, right? She's one of like nine
Yeah.
kids, 10 kids, 9 kids, 10 kids. And my father came from a single parent household, and he's the only child, right? So like really different dichotomy,
Different dynamic there. Yeah.
So the one thing that is kind of true with both of them is that alcoholism ran rampant through both houses, right?
Okay.
So my grandmother on my father's side, who was the meanest woman you'll ever want to meet in your life, literally, she's the devil. She passed on now, thank
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
But she's the devil.
Yeah.
She was the meanest person I've ever met. Really.
Even to the kids.
Even to the kids.
Yeah.
She was nice to Katie, my middle sister. She was nice to her for a few years, and then she went really sour on her. And then she was nice to the youngest one, Maggie, because Maggie was forced to go down to, when we lived in South County, she was forced to go down. We lived in the Oaks, and Scallop Shell was right at the front of the Oaks. So she was forced to walk down there every day after school and like go visit with this mean old bitch.
Oh, yeah.
and like the poor kid, no wonder why she was like traumatized probably.
Yeah.
But she was mean, and that didn't really mean anything to me at the time, right? Like it just didn't mean anything. But I just kind of, I think it's important that I say that because family of origin is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With like how
absolutely.
we get brought up and the morals we're taught and what we see, like, right? So adult child of an alcoholic is a real thing.
Yeah.
Right. We have real tendencies. We have real like mannerisms and behavior issues, and they're real.
We're both children of alcoholic
Yeah,
parents.
yeah, me too. You know what I mean? Like, so my
Yeah.
father died. He was 3 years younger than me
Yeah.
when he died, right? And I think about it now. I can remember when it happened. I was 30. I was clean at the time. Thank God I was sober at the time, right? And him and I had a real rocky relationship. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And no wonder. Like, he was a stone cold alcoholic that swore he wasn't an alcoholic because he was one of the ones that fell into that category of like, I'm not drinking before noon, so I'm not an alcoholic.
Sure.
Or I make this much money, so I can't possibly be an alcoholic, right?
Yep.
And he was probably the best salesman I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And now I'm not, 15 looking at my father anymore, right? Like, I'm talking about being through all the things I've been through, the businesses, all that, right? And like, he was probably the best salesman I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He just had that thing, man. Whatever it was, he had that thing, right? And
The Riz, as the kids call it now.
yeah, he just had it, right? Like
Charisma.
people loved him, and he was a fucking great like buddy, and he was a great salesman and a great boss because I actually worked for him for a little bit. To the other people, he was great. He was phenomenal. To me, I wanted to stab him every day, but but he was like a 2-cent father. And like a 2-cent husband, right? Maybe a 1-cent husband, because he was horrible. You know what I mean? And his alcohol dictated like how everything went in our house. Like it's just how it was.
Yeah.
I can remember my mother running out of the house like frantically. The package stores used to not be open on Sundays, right? Like, and they used to close on Saturdays at like 5 or 6 down there.
Yeah.
Right. You might be able to get into like Patsy's past that, right?
Yeah.
But back in the day, so I can remember my mother like running out of the house to like go get beer because she knew, I didn't know then, but she knew that if she didn't put beer in the refrigerator downstairs and there wasn't a couple cases in there, he was going to the bar and he wasn't coming home.
Yeah.
Like, because he was going to be where the beer was, and that was going to be the end of it.
Sure.
Never drank anything but beer and wine, but still died at 51 from liver failure,
Yeah.
right? Like, so, he made that choice kind of consciously. Like, he would have had the opportunity to, like, get liver transplants and all that. no, he didn't want was going to stop drinking.
Really?
That was going to be the end of it. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because that's the stipulation. If you're gonna have a
Of
transplant,
course,
you need to stop
of course,
drinking X
like yeah,
amount of time
because they
beforehand.
can't. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like he wasn't willing to do it, and like he went through that process. You know, he beat cancer once. He beat lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I remember watching him. He worked in his office was he owned his own company after a while, and his office was in Beverly, Mass. So all the way up on 28, right, like 2 hours away from. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes from Narragansett to South Kingston, right?
Yeah.
Up 128.
Yep.
And then back 128. So I worked for him for a while, and as a matter of fact, my first position ever kind of working in the field was at Star on Broad Street when it was in St. Joe's Hospital.
Okay.
And Gail, I remember Gail T, who was in recovery for a bajillion years now, she hired me. She was my first boss, right? And it was like, I was like a RS. I don't know what you guys call them here, an RS or BHT. I forget.
Yeah.
Whatever they call it, right? So, you know, we just
kind of
kind
an
of
overseer.
yeah, you just
Yeah.
kind of, you know, don't put the milk there, don't put, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like, and make sure, you know, we would like start their meetings for them or whatever,
Sure.
and it was just kind of being around and kicking it with them and kind of chopping it up and just being available, right?
Yeah.
And she gave me my first gig, so I was working for my father in Beverly, and then coming back and working there at night. And I was living with my buddy Ronnie in Cranston, and so this was before like marriages, before
Yeah.
like kids, before any of that, and single, in Narcotics Anonymous early, you know, one of those deals. So what I was saying with my father was, you know, the Beverly thing, he was driving back and forth, and then he gets cancer, right, and he was one of those people, even in the house, like, you know, you rub some dirt on it, right, like don't
talk
you
about
know
it.
don't. The less you talk about, right, the better. That was really kind of the motto, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't want to. My mother was the exact opposite. So she worked in social services her whole life, right? So she had me answering a suicide hotline for Simpatico when Simpatico was down in South County, which was like a volunteer like help place, right? Where they would get you shelter. They would get, you know, they ran like the women's battered shelter homes and that kind of stuff like that, but they ran a suicide hotline, like, you know, all on the bubble, right? And I remember coming home saying, yeah, you're gonna go volunteer on the oh, I'm 16. Like, no, you're not. I'm not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be doing that. She was like, yeah, you are. You can talk to people. You're good at it. I'm like, okay. So my first real experience with anything was like picking up the phone and having like the same person that calls they call, like they have callers, right? They have like, oh, that's, you know, Susan the cutter. That's, you know, Billy the jumper. That's like, wow. And I'm like, I look back at it
That's
now and I'm
heavy.
like, what the lucky I didn't jump.
Yeah.
You know, listening to some of the stuff that they were saying, right?
Did you gain like any sort of like feeling that you were helping during that time?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They used to ask for me.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
So like
really
once they
cool.
got used to me kind of being there on certain nights, right? Like they used to ask me, like the woman, not her real name when I said Susan the Cutter, but she was a cutter, right?
Right.
And she would call and like torture people on purpose. She'd be like, I'm cutting right now. Wow. And then people will get like frantic and hang up the phone and quit, and they can't put, you know what I mean?
Shit,
And I'm
yeah.
like, well, you know, like you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Put it down.
Yeah.
Put it down. You want to talk. You call me, like, let's talk. And like that young, like, yeah, just talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And I didn't see any value in that
Yeah.
because I wanted to be a gangster.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be anything. I wanted to be a gangster. So you know, fast forward, my parents were both they both graduated from UMass Amherst. My first bedroom was the closet in married student housing where my bassinet was stuffed in there, right? And then my father finished, very typical to back then. My mother, you know, I was born in July 1971, and they were married in January, right? So we know what happened, and you know, hussy. So you know, my mother dropped out.
Sounds like a compassionate woman met
My
the
mom-
bad boy.
Yeah. I don't really talk to her much anymore, but she's
Okay.
Yeah, I don't speak to her too much. I think the last relapse was really bad for some people.
Sure.
It was really bad for some people. I think looking back at it, man, it was great for me as far as like direction, right? It was great for me for that, right? And really putting kind of perspective, which was a big thing I talked about for a long time, that perspective, right? And I always knew like the right thing to say in meetings. I was full of shit. Or actually, I shouldn't say that. I wasn't full of shit. I was kind of. I could tell you exactly what you needed to do to be clean or to heal, or like it was a natural, like innate ability, right? Like between some training and like reading some books and some school and some like, NA and some life. I could tell you exactly. And like people always used to say it. They'd be like, "Oh my God, man! Like let me call John. Let me call John." But I couldn't implement any of it.
Sure.
I would like come home and be like, how come I can't do it all? I'm telling them what to do. I can give them a list, an outline. Ask me to do it in my real life, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be back. I'm going to the casino. Like everything that I was telling people not to do, I was doing.
Do you have any insight on why you think that is now?
Yeah,
Like looking back at it.
I was lost, man. I looking back at it now, and obviously now there's been some more education. There's been some sitting down period, right, where I had to go away. That was fun. So it's I think, and there was loss.
Yeah.
A lot of loss. A lot. So if I'm doing real talk, this will be like this probably forever, right? There's one subject in my life. So my greatest accomplishment always will be my daughter Sienna.
Sure.
My greatest failure will always be my daughter Sienna. Always. Always.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I had to lose her to find me. So my hope in doing what I do, right, for a living and NA and AA and like is that Steve doesn't have to go through it, right? Because it is one of the most violent pains you'll ever want to feel, right? And it is nonstop. Yeah. It's not like a toothache. That's like this is like somebody stomped your heart out, right? And it's like that every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Sure.
Right. And it still hasn't gone away.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will, right? And I struggled with that when I came back home, right? Because now, my rights were taken when I was in jail, right? And I was like, as soon as I get out, I don't care. First I did the mad thing. We all know the mad thing, right? I'm gonna kill this motherfucker you watch.
Yeah.
Right? And the problem with me is like if I keep playing with that too much, I will, right? Like I will. And because I will talk myself into anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I have great ideas. I think looking back, if I just laid down when I had good ideas and took a nap, my life would be a lot better.
Caught in the spiral right there.
Just take a
I was
nap.
just talking
Just take a
about
nap.
that with someone.
Yeah.
She's like, just
Yeah,
stop it.
crazy.
Just walk. Take a walk around the block.
Go ahead,
something.
fast forward. Where you at?
No, let's backtrack so
Okay.
people can kind of understand what you're trying to get at.
Okay, so
Because
so
I know.
Yeah, and a lot of people know. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's funny because if you say like Johnny Mac and it's like in NA or even AA, really,
Yeah.
Rhode Island is so small.
Sure.
And I've been in and out, more in than out, right?
Yeah.
Since I was like 16.
Right.
And I'm not 16. I mean, I know I look it, but I'm not 16, right? Like I'm 54 now. And so you learn a lot in that process, right? So now I was like the young guy in NA for a while.
Yeah.
Like the young guy. My first treatment facility I ever went to was Marathon House.
Oh, yeah.
Do you mind sharing?
Sure.
What did you have a drug of choice?
Absolutely. So I'm an opiate guy. I love opiates, but I didn't have a problem with crystal meth or I didn't have a problem with cocaine till I tried those either. You know what I mean? Like, so
Understood.
So believe it or not, like so when I originally got clean and I was clean for a long period of time, in like my 20s, 30s, that range, right? And I had a bad relapse and that caused my first like divorce and all that stuff, right? Losing the house. I mean, it was a mess.
Yeah.
Right? And legal issues again, jacked up, locked up. It was, and then had to come back into NA after like a long period of time. And I had like sponsored like tons of people. You know what I mean? Irresponsibly too. Now that I see it, I look back at it, right? Like irresponsibly. I meant really well. And I think I did really well.
What do you mean, too many people at once? Or
Yeah,
like...
I think, well, you know what it was? Nothing was selfless service.
Okay.
Nothing was selfless service. So, like, my big thing, like, talking about it now where people ask me, I'm like, listen, if you have to raise your hand in a meeting and tell people that you're on this committee and that committee, like, it's not selfless service.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Right? It's ego-filled service,
Yeah.
right? Like, so I think looking back at it, and like, I don't know how you take ego out of a 27, 28-year-old kid that's been clean for a couple of years and thinks he's the hot shit. Like, I don't know how you take ego out of that, to be honest with you. Like, that's, like, that would be, in my eyes, probably impossible. But I definitely could have been way more responsible with the truth. Right? Like, that I was struggling here or struggling there or, like, fighting the demon with the
yourself,
casinos
right?
or myself or anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
And because I was you can't save your ass and your face at the same time, right? Isn't that what they say? Like, and I always, if you gave me a choice, I'd, like, put my ass in a sling but save my face.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Right.
And that's such a horrible way to it's such a horrible way to live.
Yeah, it's a lot of burden to put on yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
always
yeah.
trying to defend a certain aspect
Absolutely.
of yourself to
Absolutely.
not lose reputation, maybe. Or
Yeah. Well, that's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Reputation's a big one. So you know, I've always been like, well, you know, whether it was like the street or jail or NA or anywhere, right? Like I you know, I've always tried to be like X amount of person, right? But I think, like, looking back at it now, that I wasn't really that person that I was saying I was until probably now.
yeah.
And I'm just cracking how to get there. You know what I mean? Like, so you're never there,
Sure.
right? But I was touting that I was, right? And I think when you do that, you know, I think you give people like false hope, right? Like, because people start putting, you know, expectations on you that you're like, you have the answers, right? And if you're not careful, your ego lets you think that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you feed into that. You've seen it in meetings where you have, you know, certain people and they have all the answers, right?
Yeah.
Well, like, you know what? I bet you they don't. In my experience, they're saying it, but they don't. And they might even believe it, but it doesn't mean they got them.
Yeah, and I think the more you go to amass a certain amount of meetings, whatever, you start to see the trend, or you start to see the faces behind the people
100%.
that are just there for their ego trip, or they're just there for maybe their fucking 13th stepping.
Yeah, of course.
women.
Yeah, they're looking for a date. Yeah,
Looking for a date.
Yeah, I did that too. Yeah,
whatever, you know,
Yeah,
all these different faces that we can put on at the meeting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's really the biggest thing is understanding that that's what you were.
Yeah.
Or are.
Yeah.
Right? And you're still like it's like I have to get out of that were, right? Like, it's not were. Like,
Right.
I am, right? Like, everything is I am. So,
Yeah.
even when I'm talking to guys at work, you know, that are on the unit, I'm like, yeah, but guys, listen, we, you know,
Sure.
like we. Not because, like, I've proven in my lifetime that I am one bad choice away from sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
Probably worse, right? I'm very lucky to be here
Yeah.
now. I should still be in prison, right?
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
I think like that true surrender too is, I think for everyone, is something you always have to. It's a reminder that you need constantly because I think it's such a natural habit as for all of us humans that it comes back in. You know what I mean? I think the mastery of truly releasing the ego. Is I think it's a mastery, you know what I mean? So it's so easily, like you said, it easily
like
comes.
Gandhi, like Mother Teresa,
you know.
like who's done it really? Do you know anybody that's completely let go of ego? Like
Probably Jesus.
maybe Jesus, maybe Jesus
You
probably
know?
did it. Yeah,
Definitely
maybe
some
probably-
Buddhists.
No, I
probably-
mean, I'm sure
I'll
Gandhi's
offend
got some
every
ego when he
Catholic
walks
on
into a room and everyone like looks at him
Yeah,
from
I
beyond.
think that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. I think it's the knowing how to handle when it comes in. It's the awareness of when it comes in. And
Right.
being able to.
And I also think there's a fine line between ego and like good feeling validation.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
You know,
Big
ego,
difference.
like ego, it's funny because there's good ego, right? And they tell you that, like when if you start, you know, dipping in you with school, right? You're gonna end
I
up
disagree
going into it, right?
with that.
Yeah, do you?
No, I do. I
Okay.
fully do. I
Let me
think
hear it.
all ego is terrible. I think.
All right, let me hear it.
I think for me, I'll talk about me personally.
Yeah.
My ego has always been, how can I get as much validation from other people and how do I worm my way into manipulating them to give me that validation.
Right.
Now, my ego doesn't exist without outward validation.
Okay. I get that. Me too.
So the only way I can prove to myself that I'm doing well, the only way I can prove to myself that I'm feeding my ego is to worm my way into making you guys think that I am better than I am. And that has been my lifelong journey.
Yep.
I am doing better than I think I am, so I need to tell you XYZ, which probably involves lies and manipulation.
Absolutely.
And I know no other ego besides that negative ego.
Okay.
So for me, I don't think ego is good for this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For some people, it gives them confidence. But even too much confidence is a negative thing.
Right, because you go into the classic addict, right?
Yeah.
Too much, right? Like we don't know.
Sure.
We don't know, and I think that's what it is, right? With people who have substance use disorder, or however you want to describe it, because we still do this now. We're still in this stage and age. We're still doing this, where I say substance use disorder because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And people go, no, I'm an alcoholic. And I say, okay, well, really, you have an alcohol disorder, but whatever you want to do, right? It's fine. Listen, I've always fallen into that. When I'm in AA, I'm John. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because that's their traditions, and I've learned to follow the traditions, right? Because you want to pay homage to the program and the traditions that saved you, right? So I don't have any problem, even though because I know that if I just chose alcohol, I'd be falling down drunk in the gutter somewhere, right? I know it.
Yeah.
So but I don't have a problem saying I'm John, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And then when I'm in Narcotics Anonymous saying I'm John, I'm an addict.
Sure.
Right? Not just addict. I'm not one of those that goes into the big long 87 words before I'm a thankful, recovering, grateful parent of two.
That's the thing?
Addict.
Oh yeah.
I don't do that.
Well, I think
John, I'm an addict.
It's also
talk about ego. That's just the labels are.
Well, it's also taught
like you said, it's
at facilities.
Yeah, man.
Don't label yourself an addict. Say you're a grateful recovering addict. Whatever
Stop.
But that's also an
Stop
avoidance tool.
You're putting too much stuff in front of it. So
it doesn't have to be that complex.
Right.
But then again, who
to each his own.
Right.
Because
so there's two sides.
people need the reminder as well. That they're a grateful.
Yeah.
Recovering addict.
Absolutely.
Maybe so.
As
all
long
depends
as
how
in
you
the
use
theme.
it and why.
Yeah.
Right. So as long as in the theme that you are accepting the process of knowing that you cannot have one in safety of anything.
Yeah.
So however you need to get there,
Sure.
that's for other people. That's how I feel about it. I do cringe occasionally, in meetings, and I still am kind of a throwback to that, where I cringe about a lot of the new stuff and the new age stuff. And I'm grateful that I learned most of my stuff, and I think I'm learning life lessons, who really why I struggled so much with certain things. But I think I learned how to stay clean in my 20s.
Okay.
Early. When Narcotics Anonymous was we didn't have text, we didn't have the basic text, we didn't have I remember sitting in my buddy Ronnie's house, right, waiting for the fax to come from California that had the literature, and we'd have to make copies, staple it, and bring it to Cottage Street.
Yeah.
We were doing James Bond shit.
Cottage
you know what I mean?
Street.
Yeah, and there was 5 of us. Yeah.
So NA came in 1974.
Yeah, 74. So 74.
74. It was
as opposed to 50.
It
whatever,
was.
Right?
It goes off the guidelines of the AA book, kind of, which came off of the Oxford group.
Right.
It follows the same 12-step program as AA does, but NA came later on.
Right.
And AA was, excuse me if I get this wrong, 1932.
I don't know.
1930 something.
Is that what it is?
1932, 1934.
Oh yeah, it was way earlier.
When the big book came out.
Wow.
And
I'm actually surprised that it was
later on.
that early.
That AA was that early?
That AA was that early. I was just thinking about that generation.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Bill and the Doctor were
that's our
pretty
great
hip,
grandpa.
man. They were pretty hip.
Yeah.
They were before their time, right?
And there are very few words that are changed in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Since that first, there's been 5 other versions of the big book. still the first 62 pages are all the same from 1932
Interesting.
or 1934, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what I was getting at, NA came in 1974,
Much
I
younger.
believe, in a couple guys in California on a rooftop came up. It was like, we need a program too.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're not, back then the theory was that you weren't really allowed to talk about drugs in AA meetings, right? And that was true because I would sit in AA meetings and be like, yeah, I just love dope, right? And I would do it when I was younger on purpose because the old guys would be like, oh,
Yeah.
like
That's
alcohol.
interesting.
But it's different.
Yeah.
That's how times change. Well, listen, Marathon House originally used to take, because it was mostly heroin addicts, right? So they kind of came under the guide, I think, under the umbrella of what was it, Daytop back then, I think. So it was a behavioral modification, right?
Okay.
So it was based on changing your behaviors, but they used to make it wear signs and like it's crazy.
It's hardcore.
Oh yeah, it was different, right? It was different, right? And it wasn't like ancient.
Wait, what kind of signs?
But
Like
I have a problem with confrontation, or they would make you wear them, and then they would have doorway verbals. So, bro, the funniest thing in the world is seeing some of the people in that. Well, you know Kelvin, right? So like,
yeah.
bro, you have to ask him. When you see him, ask him. He is one of the most hysterical people I've ever met in my life. But we were in treatment years and years ago, and they would make us, and I was like the youngest person around, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that we know now, right, that are my age or a little bit older, they were kind of, there was a good chance they were in the process of like either going there or coming or like just at another facility and were like with us all together, right? Because it wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
I go into NAMs, I'm like, who are all these people?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, who are all these people?
Yeah.
I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, so it's a big testament of how many people actually need it and how many people didn't know about that program.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
You know?
absolutely. I mean, think about it. What it used to be. Imagine getting clean like back then when you don't have, like, where it wasn't like, even just being an alcoholic. Like, I shouldn't say just, right? Because it's the same kind of process. But alcohol is so much more acceptable than being a heroin addict or a crack addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine back then, like, having a problem with, like, let's just say even after later on in the 70s, like early 70s, coming back from like the guys coming back from Vietnam that all had heroin habits, right?
Absolutely.
And they had pure heroin habits.
Yeah.
So coming back to the state, it was different. Like you're getting 50% heroin when you come back. So now you got to do twice as much. And now that's what happened. Like in some of these communities like Harlem and where it just ran rampant and people were just dying everywhere, right? But again, people are dying. We like right now, fentanyl, right, is like the big push, and you can get funding for anything if it's going to stop fentanyl, and if you took all the people that died from fentanyl and all the people that died from cocaine and all the people that died from acid and pot and all the other drugs, right, crystal meth, and you put them all in a batch, it's like a third of what die of alcohol every year.
Really?
Yeah. So alcohol
is the only drug you can die from detoxing.
Yep, alcohol and benzos. Yep.
Yeah.
Alcohol and benzos. You can season die from it.
Third.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
that's some crazy perspective.
It's crazy, right? So why is like fentanyl this big driving force?
Right.
And I'm not here like to get into conspiracy theories because I really don't have one. It's just weird to me,
Big
right?
driving force to what?
To funding.
Oh, I think it's big political.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the biggest political tools right now just because of what's going on, one, at our borders, and who's bringing it in.
Yeah.
But not only that, so the cartels bring it in, but the cartels have to have this certain thing called fentanyl something, this certain product. And that is only manufactured 99.9%
Texas.
in China.
Is it? Oh, China?
Oh. And so all that is coming out of China, being solely distributed. It gets distributed through different countries first.
Yeah.
And then those countries are all middlemans with China that sell it back to the cartel in Mexico. So it's not coming from China, but it's coming from China, from different countries, then going to... And now, since Trump has done such a good job at securing the southern border and firing down planes that have shit coming in. They now have distribution centers in Canada and are bringing it in from the northern borders.
So I don't talk politics.
Wild.
I don't talk politics hardly ever, right?
Because it's
just,
us either. We don't want to hear about it.
It's and you know what? That's funny. It's the same reason why we were talking about it earlier, right? The family of origin, because like FOO is like a big thing when you're talking about addiction, right? And like the tendencies you've learned. Like I never knew for years. I didn't know like. As a baby, you don't know. You know, we're not born with anger. We don't have anger. It's a learned behavior. Like it's a learned emotion, right?
Yeah.
We learn how to express it. We learn how to get it. We learn how to get rid of it. We learn how, right? We learn how to do that. It's not something we have innately. Like you feel isolated and depressed and abandoned. Like those are all real things. You feel them as a baby, right? Like those hungry, like lonely, tired. You know what I mean? But anger, you don't. It's learned.
Yeah.
So you directly learn that from who your FOO is, your family of origin, right? Like you directly learn that. I deal with anger very similar, it did for a long time, as my father. And then when I got older and realized that if you add a little, violence to it, right, then people really back up.
Yeah.
Right? So, you don't even have to do it half the time. If you're good at saying you're going to do it, people will back up.
Right.
And if you do it long enough, people will stay backed up. Right? And then what happens is you get clean and you realize, fuck, I backed everybody up.
Yeah.
What did I do? Right? What did I do? Yeah. And you're not even realizing, like, in the process, that's what you're doing, right? And that's the theory of what happens with family of origin stuff. Like, you don't know, like, how do we stop the cycle of, like, domestic violence and child abuse and, well, listen, I got hit with a belt.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything wrong with it at the time. I was scared shitless. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want to go home, but I wasn't worried about telling my friends, like, because it was going to be DCYF was going to come in with the cops, because everybody got the belt.
Yeah.
So when everybody gets the belt, you don't think it's right. If I ever said now, I'm going to give you the belt to kid.
Get it.
They're smart enough now. Kids will call the cops themselves. Yeah. Come over here, hook my mother up. She hit me with a belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just a different but you learn
time.
those things as far as generational, right? Like and then specifically like in your household, right? And in my household, it was pretty clear. Like you don't, and because my father's tendencies always won.
Yeah.
Right? They always won. I think my mom was kind of, she did the best she could as far as like, being like emotional and feely and, but even her, I think back on it now, I'm like, yeah, she was good at that. But I think I probably, you don't hear, I didn't hear I love you like ever.
Right.
Like I never heard, and that's not like, I'm not like at 54 years old, trust me, it's not about me, being, my mother did it, my father, that's why I'm the way I, no.
No, but to learn how it truly affects the brain.
But like, even how I am with like my stepkids who are like grown basically. I mean, my daughter's with us because she lives downstairs, right? But she, she's older, but it's still the same theory, right? Like you have to be better than what that is, right? Like you have to be better. Like I tell it, and she's my stepdaughter, and I tell her I love her every day. Like every time we talk, right? Love you, right? It's not, and it's. My grandson, Bryson, was like my guy, too, right? Papa, everything's Papa.
Yeah.
First of all, let's talk about how long it took me to get used to the Papa thing.
Oh,
I was not happy. I'll be honest with you. Not happy with the Papa thing. I'll be honest with you, right? So, like, we and, like, Darlene and Maddie tortured me over it, right? They all trying to teach him to say it. And I'm like, stop.
Did they ask you what you want to be called?
Yeah. They were like, what do you like to be called? I said, John's good. Mac is all right.
Yeah.
Johnny Mac if you're really close.
Stud?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Come on.
You think of something. Like, whatever. I would rather have you call me asshole than Papa at that moment, right?
Yeah.
Like, but like, ask
How
me now.
How quickly did it grow on you?
Once
you started
mugs,
saying
I got
it?
like mugs that say "I love Papa" in my office, and like
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. He's my guy, man. He really is. He's my guy. I have a feeling they might be moving out soon, and Darlene and I were like, yeah, yes, right, like. I'm sure Darlene's ready too. She raised 3 kids. They're all grown. Marcus lives over here. You know what I mean? It's but then I think when the feet to the fire, right, I'm noticing that, and she said it the other day, but it was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when she leaves.
Bittersweet.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm gonna do when she leaves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because Maddie and I are close too. So like, I'm like, yeah, she makes me crazy because I'm like OCD and she's not OCD, and neither is her mother, by the way. but I'm like, I'm like organized and neat, right?
Yep.
And with my stuff, not always organized and neat with my like emotions and shit, but my stuff is always neat.
Ditto.
You know what I mean? Like my clothes are pressed and neat and match. Everything matches.
I can color coordinate, but
My boss
Can't have a
calls me like
conversation.
Mr. Match and Mara. That's what she was calling me, Mr. Match and Mara. I'm like, that's funny. That's great. But yeah, it's when they move, I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'll be like,
There's that
where's my
void.
guy?
Yeah.
Where's my guy?
for sure.
For me, it was healing, man.
Yeah.
For me, with my process and kind of losing my daughter in the process of my relapse, man, it was healing.
Yeah.
It was Dolly and the kids came along at a time where I don't know if I would be where I'm at right now if they didn't come along at that time.
Yeah.
Right. I don't
That's
think I would have
amazing.
been there.
Yeah.
It was a healing process, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be sad, but I think I'll get over it, and then my grandson can come anytime he wants, and I will pick him up anytime he wants, and every time I want.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like I'll have that anyways.
Yeah.
But I just won't have to do the laundry
Yeah.
and like pick up like the clothes and the diapers and the toys and the
Yeah.
because they live in the in-law downstairs, like, but there's a door connecting, so I joke about it. I'm like, they open that door, there's got to be like a big fan on that side that's blowing all this shit into my house because you're here for 12 seconds and like I got to clean everything. You're OCD. I'm like,
It's a good papa.
That's a good.
what it is. No, it's great.
So
We got tad off track, yeah.
no, tell me a little more about like your relationship with your daughter is non-existent right now.
Yeah, no, listen, no, it's not existent. So,
Okay.
well, I'll tell you, it's how I get through that situation is that in my head it is existent, right?
Yeah.
In my head I had an option. First of all, her and I not being together now is no bearing on her whatsoever, right? So like it never is with the kids.
Yeah.
It's not their fault, right? Like it's not their fault.
Sure.
She got blindsided by addiction, and she didn't even know it.
Right.
And it was like I said, it is probably my greatest failure. Always will be, right?
Right.
Because she was people that know me know that the first part of her life, right? The 11, 12 years that we were together, right? She meant everything.
Sure.
Every picture on Facebook, there's 5,000 pictures of her and I on Facebook, right? And she was at my house every weekend, and she was, like we spent time together, and we did all the pumpkin patches and the apple things, and then with the homework, and I got to take you to school, and we got to go here, and we got, it was, I was dad, right? So, I think what I have to remember out of that whole thing is that really, ultimately, if I'm not taking care of the shit that I need to take care of, the reality is I will choose a bag of dope over that girl pretty much every time.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, I think when I really kind of understood that's what it was, I started to like, okay, yeah, this is more serious than I thought ever.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid and you relapse, right? It's almost like if you make it through it now, it's different now with the fentanyl because kids are dying like crazy, right? But like back in the day, like it would be like 3, 26-year-olds, and they'd come in and they all go smoke crack together, and they'd come back the next day and go, I gotta get away key tag, and there's like some jovial shit behind it, you know what I mean? And now, you say it and you're like, fuck, how many came back?
Yeah.
Right? Because not all of them did.
Yep.
Like you just know, not all of them did, right? And it's scary. So, not to mention, when you add in now, whether it's gun violence and gang violence, and so you can lose people in all kinds of ways. Drunk driving now, because I teach that program, and it's man, it's just. But back to my daughter, man, and full disclosure, right? I lost those rights. I was in prison, and her mother move forward to have my rights revoked, and at the last second is when I was like, yeah, I get it. All right, I couldn't fight it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't fight it.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to, and when I came home, I wanted to bad.
Yeah, I remember.
Bad.
Yeah.
And I still want to.
Yeah.
Right. But I think the logical part of my brain is. I think the only reason why I can even process it, number one, let's just say because I'm, obviously I have some ill feelings towards like, her mom's side of the family and all that, because they were always rotten to me.
Yeah.
Not to her. They love her, right?
Right.
I don't think they ever really, whatever, looking back on it, right? Like, it was like one of those waiting for somebody to jack up type things, right?
Yeah.
And they were more than happy when I did.
Sure.
Right. So, but they were always, they kind
See,
of.
told you so.
Yeah, and they were kind of people that like you make the comments at the dinner table with Sienna there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys claim to like be this like picture of health, right? Because you're all together, but like you're an alcoholic. You drink that moonshine wine all day long, right? Like,
Yeah.
And like you run the house on fear. Like, so let's talk about that for a minute, right? So you're not that great at it.
Nothing's real.
And you're like, so you're bad mouthing me, which whatever. If we don't get along, that's fine.
Yeah.
I could care less. But did you know the anxiety that creates in her? Like,
course.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it before, right? So like I know the anxiety it creates in a kid, right? I know oh my God, am I supposed to like him?
Right.
Am I not supposed to like him? Am I supposed to love him? Not love him? And what am I supposed to do? And when you're a kid, you can't process that kind of stuff. You don't
Sure.
understand what's going on, right? So like, I know what the anxiety, but again, look at me. Yeah, I know the anxiety, but I chose to like sell drugs and then eventually get high.
Yeah.
Again, after having like a long period of clean time and like being, Joe Dad and having this, what people thought was like the perfect relationship in NA, right? Because that's what happens in NA. We think we see these people going to meetings and they're together and it's great and it's fantastic. And it might be for a minute, right? Like, and some people might live happily ever after. There are some
absolutely.
couples.
I see them.
Yeah, there are some couples in NA and AA that I know of personally that are like friends of mine that got together in that process and they were like a success story because like the 13-step thing and all that, that's not a real thing. Like that's made up, right? So but in in the text, both of them, right, and the big book, like they talk about being able to be ready for those kind of intimate relationships, right?
Yeah.
And like being at a place, and most of us coming into meetings aren't in that place. Like for a long time,
Especially the newcomers. Yes,
especially
of
the ones
course.
that are like 4 days clean.
Right.
Like you're not supposed to be even worried
Right.
about that.
So-
How
'Cause it
long were you
happens.
clean before you relapsed?
Oh, so the
Sounds like
longest
there was a
period of
big
time was
chunk.
it was like almost 17 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was clean for a long time and
Wow.
and chose to like go back, right? And I say that like on purpose, like I chose to go back.
Sure, of
I haven't
course.
always looked at it like that. I think I would be like like I got the okey doke. But it was never an okey doke with me. Like I'm pretty intelligent, right? Like not that I am emotionally like far superior, because I'm not. Like I'm a mess like everybody else, right? But I've always been able to, and I had like at least enough background to be able to identify easily, right? So like I could identify exactly what I was feeling. Maybe not know all the why, but I knew what direction to look at. I knew what direction to kind of talk about to get to it.
Sure.
Now, was I willing to do all that? No, absolutely not. But I knew it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I would stand on knowing it. I'm not a mess. I know that I'm a mess.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know.
But I would
get
talk
that.
I would talk so good, right? that people would be like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure." And they'd walk away, and I'd be like, "Dumbass,
Yeah.
I'm a mess." Right? So, and inside, that's what I was always saying. I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
Yeah.
I'm a mess. I'm a mess. And it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
So what helped you slip away that time?
Oh.
What helped you?
Well,
Interesting
I
verbiage.
think what helped me was
Because it's not just one thing.
no.
Never one thing.
No, so it's funny. You would appreciate this, Steve, right? So I facilitate groups, right? And it's kind of like I'm a counselor and that stuff too, but I'm a facilitator. That's how I really kind of got into my position now, right?
Sure.
And so I was in my office one day and Darlene and the other woman that was working with me, right?
Yeah.
That right?
Yep.
That we were friends with, who I still am great friends with, right? Her boyfriend is like my best friend, right? So, we, I'm OCD. I'm not OCD, but they say because I just like things in their place, right?
Yeah.
I'm not like I don't have to like touch things 100 times.
Type A.
Right. So like if I am, it's very kind of low grade and it's it's not consuming. It's just I like my coffee cup in the same place, right?
Yeah.
So leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I walk into my office and I'm like, somebody's been in my office, and I look behind me and the a friend of mine that was working there has the camera like with her phone. She's like, I said, oh, what did you guys do, man? What did you do? I've only been going for a day. I took like one day off. Like, what did you do in my office? And I noticed this little like pink, it looked a glass something, some sort of fish or something, right? Like on my sound machine so you can't hear what's going on in the office.
Yeah.
I said, who's been in my office? She goes, oh, nobody. I walked in there's 300 of these things in my office. They are in every crack, crevice, file. They're on my computer. They're on my pictures. They're on my walls. They're on my...
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, who was with an empty jar?
I got ducked. I got ducked here.
Same
All the little baby ducks.
So Darlene is like the queen of that duck thing, right?
Fun.
So she did it to me. Unbelievable. So she, that's good. Great, guys. Great. Let's make fun of the OCD guy. Let's torture him.
Yeah.
No, so that was Darlene doing that, being funny, and it was hilarious, right? I'm still finding them, I think.
Oh, yeah, me too. Like 2 years
They're
later.
everywhere.
They're everywhere.
The other day,
Sometimes I find them and I'm like, you can stay. I'll leave you.
The other day, something happened with my computer. I'm moving my computer, and I slid it, and all of a sudden, tick, 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 tick. I looked down, and I went, are you kidding me? There was one, like, tucked in the wires. They could only place they could get it to stay. I'm like, oh, my God. So I had this bowl, like this vase, and then I put all of them in there. So she was like, what did you do with them? I said, I keep them. They're on my counter, right, with all my sea glass and all that other stuff that we collect, right? So I'm in there one day, and the kid's asking me, how do you, like, to describe relapse? Like, what happens? And I was asked like the week before to put a new program together for our group about relapse, right? And like the process of relapse. And I'm like, how do you explain it? Because like, can you like explain it? Like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's about compromise and it's about early compromise, right? And it's about not doing the daily maintenance that you have to do in order to remain sober, right? Or clean, however you want to determine it, right? But like,
that's interesting.
It's hard to like.
I think I would say you've reconvinced yourself that you don't need sobriety anymore.
Yeah, and I think I would agree with that. That's pretty good. I think I'm a genius, though, Steve. I think that I'm going to take what I'm going to tell you. This is going to be the key to everybody teaching relapse. So I don't know where it came from. I think it came from a lot of years of hearing bits and pieces from everybody, right? So, and then ultimately hearing somebody that probably described the process and just used it kind of a different visual. So I have this bowl of these skate or sea ray, whatever they're called, manta rays, right? Little glass things. And I went, so I had the kid in for a session. So I pulled the bowl up. I said, I'll explain to you. I said, what keeps happening? He was like, no, I do. Because he was one of those classic examples, just like everybody else, myself, probably you and everybody else, right? I stopped going to meetings. I stopped calling my sponsor. I started hanging around like with my old buddies, maybe just once. And that's the piece right there, just once. Yeah. Right? Or not. I didn't quit going to meetings right away. Because that would be a red flag, right?
Right.
So, like, I just knocked down on him a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, like, 6 a week was really working for me. I'm 3 years clean. It's working. What would possess me to change any of that, right? But our natural habit would be, well, then that means I can do it with 5. Yeah. Right? So, the worst thing that can happen, it's kind of like gambling. The worst thing that can happen to somebody is going into the casino and doing what? With 1 quarter.
Yeah.
Well, in one
winning.
Game.
Winning.
Sure.
So imagine the people that go in and bet $1 and win $2,500.
Yeah.
I bet you if you put a magnifying glass on them, they lose their house in the next 5 years.
Sure.
Because they instantly told their brain that this is what happens. You put in $1, you get out $2,500.
Right.
We know they're not building these buildings because everybody's winning.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody's losing.
right.
So ultimately, everybody loses. Right.
Yeah.
So relapse is very similar. And the process of it is very similar. So we make the original compromise. And it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I started buying stolen stuff again.
Yeah.
I started growing weed. I'm not selling it yet, but I'm just growing it.
Yeah.
Or I only have to do 4 meetings a week now. And that's how it starts. So how I explained it was, I said, so I had these fish and I took some out. And I said, so I don't need to go to 7 meetings a week anymore. I'm clean 3 years. I only have to go to 5 a week. And I put the fish on the table.
Yeah.
And he's like, is that it? I said, yeah, nothing happens. Nothing happens. That's it.
Right.
He's like, well, it doesn't sound that bad. I said, no, it's not. That's the point, right? It's not bad. And we have just convinced ourselves that we only need 5 now.
Yeah.
Because nothing happened.
Yeah.
So when you go back in the second time, and we always know, when you make compromises, the second one is always easier than the first one.
Sure.
So
Less
because you
thought
are
out.
practiced at that point, right?
Yeah.
So now I don't need therapy twice a month. I only need it once a month.
Yeah.
And that's how it starts, right? And until eventually the bowl only has a few things in it, right?
Sure.
And then your mom dies.
Right.
And you scramble and you get back into the bowl and it's hit or miss. Some people can scrap one of the last 2. Some people can't. Most people can't.
Sure.
And it happens, right? And it happens because you think it happens quick, like, oh my God. But if I'm being honest, my relapse happened probably when I got clean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
My relapse probably happened when I got clean originally. Because I was taught certain things, because I put myself in those positions with ego, with pride, with vanity, with fixing a feeling, with women, with gambling, with everything else, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell me I can't fix an inside problem with outside shit.
Right.
I most certainly can.
Yeah.
Or it's going to look really good to everybody else. It may feel like shit to me, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Again, I would rather save my face than my ass anytime. That was my theory. Right? And I think that my relapse happened. And unfortunately, when it happened, I was married and I had a daughter, right? And that's just not conducive to an addict, right?
Sure.
Not like me, because my full-time job is, where's the next one?
Yeah.
And it happens instantly.
Right.
I go from the PTA to D block. Like, that's
Yeah.
just the way it happens with me.
Yeah.
And there's no, and the last go around, I was very lucky to even get out of it scathed, because I was looking at 2 capital crimes and a gun charge, right? So
Wow.
like I was, they both hold life in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So I went from like, hey, I'm doing great, to, hey, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in prison, right?
Wow.
And I had to, like, for a minute get my head wrapped around that, right? And I probably never ultimately did get it wrapped around it, but I did get it wrapped around that I was there for a while and I was gonna be sitting tight.
Sure.
Right? So yeah, that's quite the process, man, of going through that and losing, like, everything, and then coming out later on, a few years later, like, with, like, a garbage bag and all your worldly possessions in it, and saying, yeah, well, go to a sober house, go to this, go to that, and, like, start the process.
I met you 2 days.
And start the process with people that you got clean with originally and now own sober houses and, and run programs and, I remember the first meeting going back to, and like, and I had to raise my hand and be like, hey, I'm just coming back, and everybody knew who I was, right? But like,
Right.
thank God it was my sister Cindy's meeting, right? Who's not my blood sister, but Cindy is probably the closest human to me ever, like, on the planet, right? It's crazy, because we were like one of the originals. I watched her, like, get married, get divorced, and then get married to the same guy again years later, right?
Yeah.
Who who was like, had a problems with his hands, and which is why me and him didn't get along at all, right? To physical extents. Because that's my sister, right? So, like, I'm gonna protect her regardless, right? So and so that whole process, and like so people knew kind of what was going on, but I think there was always like this like weird, like, Kaiser Soze thing kind of with Johnny Mac, right? It was almost like it was 2 entities.
Yeah. Sure.
It's weird. Like, it's weird to explain. I talk about it now, I'm like, yeah, it's weird, man.
Do you feel like there was 2 Johnny Macs?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have, like, the what I know side of my brain, right? like that this is what I know for sure. This is psychology speaking. Like this is what it is. Like I do this for a living. I can tell you this is what it is, right? But then I have I was there, man, and the bottom line is through all of it, I think that I was a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's a lot of different things. I think
Yeah.
sometimes sometimes you meet those people that have been able to be consistent their whole lives, and they're just comfortable in their own skin, right?
Sure.
Thank God, like my daughter's like that.
Yeah.
Like Sienna's like that, right? And
Awesome.
and I keep tabs on everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like she just did a big play down in North Kingston in the Shell, right? And Darlene said to me, "Why don't we buy tickets and go, man?" And I'm like, and I wanted to so bad, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, yeah, look what I do now, and look what I am, and but it doesn't matter. What mattered? What matters is that I chose to go to prison, right? That's what mattered, right? To her, that's what mattered, and I think that was lost on me. I think, like I was doing what I was doing so we could make money. No, you weren't. Ultimately, I wasn't doing. I never started like selling drugs. It was always the intention of me being around them and using them.
Yeah.
Always. Now that I look at it, it was never about money. It was never about like, hey, I'm gonna do this hustle. I'm gonna buy the stolen shit. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. It was always about getting me closer to the drugs. And when I'm a little bit closer, maybe nobody's looking,
Yeah.
and I can reach in.
It's a good excuse though for a dealer.
It is.
It
is.
Like I'm
Absolutely.
dealing X, Y, and Z. Like everything's paid for.
Yeah, I gotta pay for child support and
Yeah.
private school and whatever,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then it's like,
yeah, and it gets out of control. In that world, right?
Yeah.
That world, that crazy world that people don't talk enough about now, like in this kind of area with the crystal and all
Yeah.
that stuff, because it's introducing like kind of a new drug, but it's not a new drug, right? It's been around for a long time, but it was always
not as
either
popular.
right. It was only popular in if you were a biker or if you were in the gay community, that was
Sure.
popular, right?
Yeah.
Because it was associated with like a party kind of drug, right? I don't know why it was those two dichotomies,
Yeah.
but that's what it was.
Interesting.
In the Northeast, that's what it was.
Right.
Right. And now it's popular with everybody.
Yeah.
Right. It's running rampant. Right.
I mean,
and that is
it's-
showing up with fentanyl in it too
Oh,
on
yeah.
a regular basis. Right.
yeah.
Wow.
So think about that. I mean, they're putting you're putting that into a drug that back in the day bikers would want to use it, and they crank, and they would snort crank and then be able to ride their motorcycles for like 100 years straight, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and not get tired, right?
Right.
And then be at the clubhouse and do their whatever they were doing nonstop 24 hours a day.
Sure.
And that's why they used it, right? And then it was more of a sex thing in the other community, right? Because it was like a party drug that
Yeah.
was related to sex, right?
Wow.
And wild parties and like crazy shit, along with some other drugs that are like super dangerous that people kind of do hush hush, don't talk about. But like you got to talk about them, or else nobody's gonna be able to recover from them.
Yeah.
Like the liquid G, when people were doing that, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And it is a very close derivative of like having an opiate habit,
Yeah.
right? You can die from it if you take too much. Like it's not supposed to be for human consumption.
Right,
it's
sure.
for horses, right? That's not for us, right? But us, we use it. If
Yeah.
it makes us feel good. And when I
Right.
say us, I mean specifically, me.
I mean-
I'll do it in a second.
I mean, ketamine for
Yeah.
horse tranquilizer.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing. The K is, and you got these poor kids that are melting their brain. Well, look at prison. Prison now they have K2, right? So K2 is bug spray, right? That comes in on paper, that's sprayed on paper.
Yep.
So you can't find a battery in prison anywhere,
Yeah.
because that's how they're smoking it. Everything that had a piece of copper in it has been stripped, stolen, tucked.
Battery. Wait, what?
Yeah, well, the battery is how you get with the copper wire. If
How
you
you
have the
heat it
battery,
up.
that's how you heat it
Oh,
up,
okay.
right? Enough to
Yeah.
heat up the little piece of paper, and then through a straw, you like you used to do pills and heroin back in the day, really.
Right. Free base.
Right. Yeah. So they'd be on aluminum foil, lighting the aluminum foil till it started to, and they sniff it through or inhale it through the straw.
Yeah.
So every way possible you can get, we'll figure it out. An addict will figure out how to get high.
Yeah.
And they're getting high in jail. They're getting high, So if you're clean in prison, right? Like, you're clean. I got news for you. Like, people that come out and go, oh, yeah, but he was in jail. Yeah, you do it. You have your freedom taken
Yeah, no
from you
doubt.
and have an opportunity, right, to get high and not feel it for a minute and choose not to do it for 3 years.
Yeah.
You do it. Because, like, access for me is not a problem.
Right.
Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
Right? You go there, I know everybody. You know, the funny thing is now you go that it would be like, yeah, you knew my father. Huh.
Yeah.
That makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside, right? After having a relapse and like, finding yourself in jail and going, there's Mac. Yeah, he was tight with my old man or he was tight with my uncle. I'm like, yeah, that just means I'm like ridiculously old, number one. And like, I'm still making the same choices that I was when I was like 18.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Right.
So I think when I said, like, I think there was some like, the loss of Sienna, if that doesn't make you look at something as a person, losing your child, if that doesn't make you look at something, right, there is nothing else aside from your freedom and your dignity that they can take away from you. That's going to hurt work.
Absolutely.
And again, when I say take away, it wasn't take away. I volunteered to walk away. I gave her away.
Yeah.
And that will haunt me probably forever, right? And I I'm in therapy, so I deal with therapy in the same way, right? So I have to like give 2 sessions, take 1, give 2 sessions, again, because I can tell you what to do, but I have a very hard time implementing, in my life. And I think this go around was just different. It's different. My relationships are different. My relationship with my friends is different, right?
Sure.
Like I think I put way more value now on a real friendship, like a real like intimate kind of relationship, right?
Yeah.
And you say intimate, and people are like, "Oh, really? You're sleeping with him?" Yeah, moron. That's what I mean. I mean, no. I mean, I have the ability to be myself.
True
with
connection,
that person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that true connection, that's so funny that you said that, because so like my program now so I work for Star in Fall River, right? And they took a big chance on me when they hired me, right? Like, cause I was a wild card, right?
Yeah.
I'm a wild card. Like I have a past, I have a record, I have, right? And they took a leap, right? And my supervisor who's my boss now, right? Lisa, she is. I said it earlier, right? She's probably one of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she's just,
awesome.
She's it, man. Like for me. And you know what it was? It was when I interviewed with her, and I got in front of her because of a couple of people that worked there, right? That I knew. And that I had worked with, like, doing group facility stuff. And they were like, oh, you got to get Johnny up here. You need Johnny, right? You got to hire him. And she kept hearing about it. And she's like, all right, fine. Send me the resume, right? So I sent her my resume. And, I finally got in front of her, and I put on the khakis and the collared shirt. And for people that know me, know that I'm comfortable in the khakis, and like I'm comfortable with dress clothes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with sweatpants and gold chains too, right? That's kind of, what's funny. I'm comfortable with both because it's okay. They're both part of me.
That's right.
And I think I always had an inner struggle, like, oh, I must be doing something fake.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. Listen,
Ooh,
I've been
that
wearing
hard.
chains and jewelry and watches and baseball hats and matching clothes since I was like 16.
Yeah.
There are pictures of me like from NA things, and it was the same.
Sure.
So I've been very consistent with that, and I think it took me a long time to understand that. Yeah, I'm like look, I can go play 18 holes with you at Quidnessa right now if you're a member, right?
Yeah.
And people would think that I was a member there for 30 years.
Yeah.
We can talk about the same things. I can play with you. I can, right? I'm not going to embarrass myself, right?
Yeah.
And people would think like it's just another guy.
I think it's very important to have people with your background.
Yeah.
Or like your background.
Yep.
In these facilities.
100%.
And I think it's imperative almost, because to have somebody come in with one, experience with long-term sobriety, 2, the hardship of relapse, and a hard relapse, and 3, the comparison or the relatability of jail time, drug dealing, broken family,
drug using,
just having to start my life over again. It's fucking relatable.
And experience. You want someone that's been there for sure.
Right. And granted, I've had counselors who have no drug background. As far as using.
Right.
And amazing.
Right. Absolutely.
But they are very few and far between in this world.
Yeah.
You have to be very good at what you do as far as a therapist or a counselor goes.
Yeah.
I always attracted more to the person that I could say something and you're just gonna be like, yeah, no shit, you did that.
Yeah.
Like,
There's safety in that, right?
There's
Like
safety
there's
in
security
that.
in that.
There's validation that I'm not the only
Absolutely.
person
Right.
who's struggling in this aspect.
Absolutely. So the two most powerful words that anybody will ever hear in their life, right? Like this is the theory of it. Like two healing words that really start the process of you being able to heal real wounds, not some Band-Aid shit. I mean wounds, right? That bleed and they stay bleeding. And the two words are probably two of the most simple words in the English dictionary, right? But they're the most powerful ones, and it's me too.
Yeah.
Right? Me too. And those heal.
Yeah.
Right? So like people ask me all the time, like, what do you mean? I based my whole MID program that I do at Star, right, on me too.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Right? So, and I based it on the fact that if I could teach these people and show them empathy, that it can change their very direction on risk behavior.
Yeah.
And people are like, you're fucking nuts, Mac. You're crazy.
I agree.
You're crazy. And I'm like, listen, we can show them dead babies 2 hours a week for 16 weeks.
Yeah.
What is it doing? So it might stop some people, but it's reinforcing that you're bad.
Yeah.
You're bad.
Exactly.
You're bad. Right? And so many of us think, like, we go through this life, like, thinking you're bad. Yeah. Even if we're not, like, saying it out loud, we're saying it, like, inside. We're saying it at home. We're saying it when we lay down. Like, you're bad.
Yeah.
You're just bad. The reason
Compassion
why you can't get is you're bad.
Is what's...
Right.
It saves the world, I believe.
100%.
Truly.
And I am so far from that, like, I firmly plant myself there now, right? Like I would fall into like the JFK, right? Like I would fall into that kind of like perspective with shit because I'm not like a crazy Democrat that wants to like free everybody. No, there's people that need to stay in prison. Like I've been there. I've seen them. There's a few that need to stay there.
Yeah.
And that I would not want around my children. I wouldn't around my family. I wouldn't around my stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like so that's fine. But I also don't believe that let's kill everybody and that's going to work.
Yeah.
Right. So and shaming people into healing is not the way to go.
Yeah.
So the MID, I started it and I was kind of dared. Like that's what happened with me because I'm thick-headed, right? Like I say, I can't. I'll tell myself for 20 years, I can't do that. I'm not good. I'm not good enough. I can't do that, right?
Yeah, of course.
And somebody will dare me. And I'll take the exact same thing, and I will get sucked into that so bad that I will be all-consuming until I can figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
There's
I'm
something there.
Like, how nuts are you? Like, how nuts are you, John? Right?
Ego thing.
I think, that is. I think that's very, very normal.
Yeah. Like nuts. So listen, when I took over the program, like it was a mess, right? And it's not to say that like I saved the that's not what I'm trying to say. I wanted to go in a different direction. The opportunity came up. I was their best version of help, whether they wanted it or not, because I could facilitate.
Yeah.
And I was put into the opportunity to do it, right? So, thank God, I had some people around me going, do it.
Yeah.
Then they told me it was on Zoom. Computers? Fuck me. I can barely turn my phone on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not technically sound anywhere, right? I'm just not. Yeah. If you ask me 100 times to do just what you did here with a computer and a laptop and a mic, I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll be getting like going like this and it'll be video playing on the microphone. Like I'm not good at it, right? So at the end they kind of threw that in. Oh, by the way, it's going to be 20 people from ages 18 to 75. Some are addicts, some are alcoholics, some aren't. Some have never drank except for that one night. Some are like are politicians. Some are like it doesn't right. And you have to get their attention and teach them something in a 2-hour period, and then think about what you have to teach 2 hours on a computer and with a fucking webcam looking at it. I'm like, holy shit! How do you fill 2 hours?
Yeah.
How do you fill 2 hours? Right. So like I started like asking. Because that's what we do, right? In recovery, like we start asking, right? Like we start asking around. So I started asking around. I started calling people that I knew worked in the field, and I started calling people that did groups, and I started calling people that were like comfortable speaking, right? Because that's really where it starts.
Right.
Like to do it and to be a facilitator and to be like and to have a program like that too, you have to be comfortable talking.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right? So like anything else I learned a long time ago, when I talk, I know what I'm doing and I know how to do it, whether I'm trying or not, right? And it gets a certain reaction.
Yeah.
And if it is the reaction I want, then I like it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I like it.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Right, I like it.
Yeah.
So it got me attention. So I did, for a long time I was like I was on like the what did they call it? The NA campaign trail or whatever the hell they called it back then. Like I was doing like conventions and men's groups and
Sure.
and and I would go talk like I had it all together and knew what I was talking about and I did. Just not in my own life.
Yeah.
I did. I wasn't giving false information. I was attraction rather than promotion. I was giving the information, and believe it or not, most of it was coming from somebody that taught me.
Yeah. Of course.
You know what I mean? It was just parroted, and just that I knew how to say it.
Yeah.
With certain inflection and in certain ways that would run certain stories and be funny at times, and and I think I've always had that ability to, kind of connect with whoever I'm kind of talking to, right?
Yeah.
So this MID thing, I was like, how do I do it? Like, how do I do it? How do I do it? And I went, well, if I could get them to love themselves or their neighbor just a little bit more, right? Then they're going to think about putting that key in the car.
Sure.
Because if you think about it, that's what's missing, right? Like, so when somebody is acting out on any risk behavior, it's why one of the markers for major depressive disorder is what how your sexual conduct is. Do you have risky sexual behaviors? They ask you that for a person, for a purpose. Like if you're making decisions that are going to put your health at risk, or somebody else's health at risk, you have an overwhelming probably blah going on inside that could be aimed at depression. And I think that the drunk driving, really it's about risk behavior, right?
Sure.
So if I can get them to understand like their risk, that what they're doing, like your value is so much more. Why would you risk that?
Yeah.
Same thing people try to teach me for years.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, all right, yeah.
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 Right? But it that's what I mean. Like it was kind of different this time. Like it rang different, right? And I was like, you know what? And I think a lot of it, Steve, was, to be completely honest, a lot of it is my whole goal since I came back is to put myself. Listen, I lost Sienna, but she's at an age where she's of age here pretty quick, right? So she's going to be able to make her own decisions and do what she has to do. Right. I am a firm believer that eventually she is, if nothing else, she's going to want to find me to yell at me.
Sure.
And that's fine,
Yeah.
right? But I'm going to do everything I can, every breath, right, is going to be devoted to putting myself in a position where I am the best possible version of myself for when she comes.
Hell yeah.
And I have to believe that, right?
Yeah.
Like, because without hope, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I love
Right?
that.
So that's why I go to work. That's why every time you talk to me, I'm on my way, leaving, still there.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I work the way I do. That, and I owe.
Yeah.
I owe. So I've been able to stay clean for a while now because I owe.
Yeah.
And I know it. Before I didn't know it.
Sure.
Because I got clean so young, right? I think I still paid heavy consequence. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's still the same process, right? You get in trouble, you get locked up, it's always the same, right? But I think I just missed some of them, man. And I always had that. That's where selfless service and all that stuff started to ring true, man. Like certain things where I'd be like, oh, this fucking old prick. He was sitting in the meeting talking this dumb shit, right? I can remember one of the first meetings I ever went to, and I'll obviously use initials, right? But I think it's in these two obviously everybody knows who these people are, right? So my mother calls the hotline. I was like 16 or something, right? I'm already a train wreck, chewing. I was a mess. And my mom's like, yeah, we're not doing this. We're not going down this road. You're going to a meeting. A meeting? What is that?
Yeah.
Like, what? And she called the hotline. And there was no NA hotline back then.
Right.
But NA meetings had started. There was one in Wakefield.
Sure.
The St. Francis Church.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night.
Yep.
St. Francis Church. I'll never forget it.
Yep. Still there.
And there, she's bringing me to the meeting and dropping me off. And I'm meeting two people there.
Yeah.
And it was Peter S. and Steve S.
Okay.
Right? Who now both of them, I use them as examples, and it's funny because both of them are still clean from that time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
But I don't even 30-something. I hate to tell you how many years it was. 30-something, right?
Yeah.
Lifetimes of most of the people that I have around now, right? So, and they were like, all right, this is what we do. We go to meetings. And then Steve picked me up and brought me to like a convention somewhere. And Pete picked me up and brought me to meetings once a week, twice a week, right? And I'm still friends with both of them, right? Like I still am like I still talk to both of them. You know, I when I came back after a relapse, both of them had the same process. Like, what did you learn? Mm-hmm. Like, what did we learn? Like, we got to get together. Like, what did we learn? Let's get back at it. You know what it is, so get back at it, right?
Yeah.
Because I was so fluent in NA by then, right?
Yeah.
And I say fluent, like, I could speak it.
Yeah.
But again, doing it, right? Like, and I could even do it for long periods of time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I always fell into the trap eventually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it was because I'm missing these pieces. So like the MID, I teach based on empathy. So when I took the program, it was 2 pages of paper they handed me. 2 pieces of paper. Hey, I got 2 hours and 16 weeks to do. You just handed me 2 pieces of paper. How the fuck am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had to develop, they didn't know it that I had to do it. So I had to develop the curriculum myself.
Yeah.
And like call the state and figure out what it needed and all stuff I'm always afraid to do that I never did. I used to just chalk it up to I'm not good at that. I'm better at groups.
Yeah.
Like don't put me in a assistant director position because like I'm better at groups. I'm not good enough. I'm not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Didn't want to take
Well,
that
guess
leap.
what? Well, guess what? It's my program now. Like you know what I mean? And the women that the woman that's my boss on that side, because I have 2 bosses, right? Both like powerful women. Like Star is a crazy. Listen, if you have women issues and you're a man, do not come working there. The CEO is a woman. The CFO is a woman. You know, all their clinical supervisors are women.
Yeah, that's
right.
great.
And you like we've had counselors. We had a counselor that works. I knew the first day. I asked my supervisor. I said, Lisa, did you interview him? No way you interviewed him. She was like, yeah, I did. I'm like, he's terrible. He's horrible.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, and he's got, like, it was obvious that he had an issue with women. Right? Like, obvious. I don't leave the toilet seat up. You want to know why? Because I grew up in a home with mom being home all the time with 2 sisters and another 5 or 6 aunts.
Yeah.
You don't leave the toilet seat up. So you don't forget that. Like, and I don't. I watch guys do it all the time, and I'm like, how do you forget, bro?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know how to wash like bras? Like not because I'm wearing them side to side. You know what I mean? It's because like you grow up in a house with women, you learn. You know, okay, this is what you know. And for a lot of years, I think I used it for bad. Yeah. I was always really good at it, so I used it for bad because my reputation when I was a kid in Narcotics Anonymous was he was a pig.
Yeah.
He dated everybody in Narcotics Anonymous, literally, right? And like because it was like that, but that's where I got the gratification from. That's where I got the you're so good at that. Oh my God, you're so good. He always says the right thing. He always does the right thing. Yeah, but I'm cheating on you.
Yeah.
So like the flowers don't matter.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my relationship with Darlene is different, man. It's and it was funny because when we say it afterwards. Like, you haven't met her. Steve knows, like, he knows exactly, right? So, even when I came to Steve and I said, hey, listen, I think I'm going to go hang out with Darlene, right? And he went, oh, yeah, I can see that.
I can see him saying
that's what everybody says. Like, eventually everybody was like, I can see that. You know what I mean? Like, because my family was from Mass, her family was from Mass, she was from Mass, and she had a hard life, man. She never had to really battle. Well, she had her battles, right? But they were short-lived because she had kids, right? Like, she was one of those, she was a mom, right? Through and through. But she grew up in Somerville. You know, people that think Providence is bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. You know, you start getting up in some of those cities, right? It's a little different. Go hang out
Dorchester,
in Ling and Dorchester and on Blue Hill and start talking that dumb shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a different egg, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's good, man. Hey, Johnny, I want to appreciate you, say thank you for coming on, man. This has been great.
Oh, so proud of you,
I
man.
missed, you too, man. You know,
So
it's like, I said it for a while, for years, you know, like, yes, I have my downfalls. Yes, I relapse. But every time I had to learn something, or else it was for nothing.
Absolutely.
And I thoroughly believe every time I got stronger, more in tune with who I needed to be, who I didn't want to be,
Yeah.
the type of recovery I wanted to be
man.
involved in. And for me, I made myself so complex inside my head that it was tough to get to a place of feeling strong in my recovery.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know? And so, I mean, this type of thing, I love what we're doing here because I get to catch up with people that, you know, I know that are doing the right thing, the thing for them. And like what you said at the end about how you want to be ready to receive your daughter when she comes to you, and you want to be the best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, and I felt that so hard,
I know.
You know.
I know.
And I love you, and thank you
I
for
love you
coming
too,
on.
man. No, I appreciate everything you guys do, bro. It's you know, I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you. I really am. It's when you watch your friends take a risk, right? And it's about the same thing that I do for a living, right? Like there's never enough platforms to admit that you're broken. Like we can't create enough platforms to admit you're broken because you can't heal until you can admit you're broken. And I think that for all of my stuff that I've been through, right, and getting clean and being clean and like having like the record, like I'll go into it with you like like if I told you the life that I lived, right, and the people and the things that I've seen, like you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, the record label in Providence and the, you know, like the crazy stuff, like the fun crazy stuff, but like some good, some bad, right? But it all, I never could admit I was broken.
Yeah.
So I never healed.
Yeah.
Like I partially healed. Like it was like that bone that you break, but you only wore the cast for half the time, right?
Yeah.
And I've been very lucky to have people in my life like Steve, right? That have always given me the ability since day one. Like you just know when you have certain people, right?
Sure.
That we're okay to. We were both okay to admit we were broken to each other.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like that is a special kind of place, right? And the empathy, I think that is the key to not only recover, but to go from survival mode to living mode, which is where a lot of us struggle. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it's gotten me into living mode, which is why my relationship with Darlene is better than any relationship I've ever had.
It's so beautiful.
That's why the relationship with my stepkids and my grandson are like what they are, because I had to admit I was broken.
Yeah.
So I started healing.
Yeah.
You know, and NA did it, and AA did it, and treatment did it, and jail did it, and my experience did it, and the people did it. But the people that remain today, right, are the people that remain, right? And they all have the same thing in common. Like they gave me that platform to be broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate you, bro. I'm proud of you. Both of you, I'm proud of you.
It was so nice to meet you.
It was so nice to meet you, too.
And yeah, I know there's so much more to your story, but
you guys
it's incredible, and it's really nice to.
It's probably all rated X anyways.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing to hear how well you're doing and how you're helping people, especially with that empathy and compassion, and the world needs that. So you're making the world a better place, and it's pretty strong. And
I owe.
Proud of you both.
I owe. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. It's nice. It's cool. Yeah, Steve. It's always cool. He doesn't ever call back. Well, he calls back, but it's usually a day or two later.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Stop.
See
We
you guys.
made plans 30 times.
Yeah.